Hey guys, yet another video here on YouTube. So today I'd like to share with you my DIY idea for this Todoroki Shoto hair color beanie. I've always loved taking outfit inspirations from anime characters, and when it comes to Todoroki, the most flamboyant feature has to be his half white, half red hair. So I thought it'd be cool to make a beanie matching the color scheme. So I found this DIY beanie method that has been on the internet for quite a while. It is very easy to make, perfect for someone like me who doesn't know how to knit a hat. And you can literally just use old or cheap clothes that you're not wearing anymore, or fabric of your choice. Just make sure the white one and the red one has similar texture and thickness, and make sure they are stretchy enough for a beanie. So the first step is to make the mold for cutting. If you have no idea how to measure your hat to make the suitable hat size accordingly like me, you can just measure the height and width of a beanie that you already own like I did. So on a cardboard, draw a line in the middle. Remember to leave some space for sewing. For instance, I'm making my beanie 24 centimeters tall, so I actually measured 25 centimeters on the paper. Then use a compass to draw a circle from the top of your hat. The circle I'm drawing is at a 11 centimeters radius. Find the middle point of the circle and draw lines connecting the middle point to the bottom of the beanie. Cut out the shape, then we can use it as the cutting guideline for the clothes. I need quite some space for the shape, and I don't want any seam line to be in the way, so I'm going to only use the back side of my clothes. Once I cut out the piece of fabric I need, I folded it in half. Then place the mold on top. Be careful that the bottom line should be aligned with the folding end, because we're supposed to cut out an oval shape once done. Secure the two layers of fabric and the mold with paper clips. And slowly cut along the line. And do the same with the white one so that you end up with two exact same oval shapes, one in red, one in white, and layer them on top of each other like this. Now cut a triangle on top of the mold. The base should be 2 centimeters. And the two sides should be 5 centimeters long. To save some time, I folded my ovals in half, so now there are in total 4 layers of fabric. Then, using this triangle again as the cutting guide, I secured it and cut the shape accordingly. Once done, there should be triangles at the pointy ends of both sides. Now we're going to sew them together like this. Ideally, it's easier to use a sewing machine, but it's perfectly fine to sew with hands like me. When it's sewed together, it should look like this. And when you flip it to the other side, it will look like this. And of course, I used red thread for the red parts and white thread for the white parts. Next, place the two ovals together. Remember to keep the ugly side on the outside. Then we can go ahead and sew the two parts together. But keep a small gap so we can flip it inside out later. At this point, it's fine to use either red thread or white thread. For sewing, I'm using backstitch. I'll show a picture of roughly how it works. Regular stitching would do, but this is a lot more secure and it's not all that much more complicated. With backstitching, the seam line will look like a straight line on one side when it's done. Then flip the beanie inside out. You could close the gap if you want, but I'm a bit lazy so I didn't. And it's actually fine because we can just fold the ugly parts into the complete parts, like this. And as you can see, the beanie is roughly done. The next part is optional. I decided to add a small pom as a decoration. But of course, the pom also has to be half white and half red. I used cardboard to cut out two exact same donut shapes to help the process. So place a string of yarn folded in half on one side of the cardboard like this, and close the two parts. Then we can start wrapping the yarn around the cardboard. I started with thread. This should go all the way to the middle part. Once at the middle parts, wrap another layer on top of the previous layer all the way back to the starting point. The tighter you want your pom to be, the more layers you should wrap your yarn. For me, I don't want it to be really dense, so I only wrapped 2 layers. Then from the middle point, begin the same process with the white yarn. Once it's done, tie the string in the middle a little bit for some secure. Then go ahead and cut the yarn in between the 2 cardboards. Trim and shape it a little bit. Then the pom is done. Now it's time to attach it to the beanie. I left the string there so that I can find the middle point of the pom because I'm going to tie my thread around the middle of the pom as well. The thread should already have a needle attached to it. I tied it a few times for more secure, then cut the excessive thread and the yarn. So now we basically have a thread led by the needle with the palm attached to the end. From the top point, just sew the palm onto the hat. And secure it by wrapping the thread around the middle of the palm a few times. Finally, it's done. A little side note here, as much as I like how it turns out, this way of making the beanie does not create that yarn knitted look that I initially imagined in my mind. So I actually went online and found someone on Etsy who knitted Todoroki hat with the exact same concept. So now I have two hats, which I really love because they're a different texture and can go with different outfits. So if you also want a knitted beanie with yarn instead of fabric that looks like everyday clothing, I will leave you a link of the Etsy shop where I bought this in case you want one as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and please subscribe to join me on my finger journey. I also have an Instagram account where I post my anime fan arts and more crafts. So if you're interested and would like to check it out, that's always appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.